Hey guys, what's going on? Wanted to give you an update on the 86 F250. I'll apologize now if I cough during this video. I am getting over being sick. But we have the truck down here doing a bunch of quality of life upgrades. Most importantly, getting a Vintage Air Gen 5 SureFit kit put in, which I'm getting to but haven't started on yet. But first, outside upgrades, I have a Borgeson upgraded steering shaft put in just to get rid of any slop that I had in the steering wheel. I did replace all of the steering linkage, but I still had a little bit of side-to-side slop, so threw that Borgeson unit in there. It was a little expensive, but otherwise it was worth it. Definitely a quality product, and hopefully my steering is going to be much tighter than with the factory shaft in there. We also got some nice Ford mud flaps on the front. The biggest Achilles heel on these trucks is the way that the fenders are designed. A lot of splash from the front tires gets pushed up underneath the truck, underneath the cab, and there is a bunch of seams from all the different pieces of metal under there, and the seam sealer dries up, cracks, goes bad, and that's why these things rust so bad between the seat and the door, because that's where a bunch of those seams are. So threw the mud flaps on there to cut down on that noise. Interior wise, we have a lot of stuff going on. So with the Vintage Air kit going in, I wanted to get carpet instead of the rubber mat, and I wanted to have cloth seats instead of vinyl. So got the bench seat out, got the rubber mat out, and I had found someone has already been in here and they had already fiberglassed both sides and it was coming undone. So I did the wrong thing, which was wire wheeled it out, put some patchet aluminum underneath, screwed it in there, and filled it up with seam sealer. It's not pretty, but it will work. I obviously seam sealed underneath as well, so that should have the cab sealed back up. One of the big problems on these Fords is, again, the seam sealer cracks, so I have a lot of cracked seam sealer going on this truck. The cowl I have to do, down where the wiper linkage is, the seam sealer is all cracked and chipping, and it's leaking between the pieces of metal. I did redo the roof drip rail on both sides. The seam sealer, again, cracked, so I re-seam sealed it and painted it, because you're really not supposed to have just bare seam sealer, which is why a lot of it cracks. On that side, right about here, there was actually a hole, a gap between the two pieces of metal, and it was letting water in. So now that's fixed. Over here, this was some really bubbly paint, and when I wire wheeled it, right here there was a couple holes that opened up. So again, not doing things the right way, just trying to get things done without having to get into body work. Just threw some JB Weld steel stick on there. Sorry, painted over with just a brush. Who cares? I have noticed up in here there's more of this fiberglass stuff, so I'm sure that was a rust hole. So cab is not virgin, but it'll be fine. So have the door panels off. I did the door weather strip. I have the window felts here to do because the door rattles around a lot, and I have that outer sweep. Since the door panel was off, I changed the outside locks so that I have a spare set of keys now. Sorry. So I got a bunch of my stuff from LMC. So first things first, the seats. I actually traded my bench seat to my brother because he wound up wanting a bench, and he had these 40-20-40s in his 95 F250. And so I was going to buy a set, and he said, hey, I'll just trade you. The reason I traded, I was originally going to recover my bench seat. The factory, this truck had non-tilt column, vinyl bench, and rubber floor mat. Well, wanted to go with carpet because I'm getting AC, so the carpet will help keep the cool air in and provide some additional sound deadening. And I wanted to go with cloth because, for the same reasons, and the vinyl seat heated up like crazy. I mean, there was one hot day I remember. The sun had been baking down all day. I got in the truck and I actually had to jump out because it felt like I was burning my butt and thighs on the seat because the vinyl was so hot. So I actually had to drive around with a towel thrown on the seat. So my brother put a seat cover on it, but I had bought an actual reupholstery kit to go with blue cloth, and got everything from LMC, and the seat cover was wrong. The Fords, they attach their seat covers to the frame with plastic, U-channel that clips onto the metal. And the seat cover that I got was actually a square body Chevy style, which is meant to be hog ringed all the way around, top and bottom. The bottom cushion and the back cushion. So, since Ford didn't do that, their seats don't have hog ring holes. So the seat cover was useless, and called up LMC. They returned it, but they gave me no pushback, which tells me that this is a problem that they're well aware of, and still they continue to sell this product on their website. So that was the first of many bad parts from LMC, and I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, but I personally am never going to order from LMC again. This has been the highest density of crap parts that I've ever gotten from any part supplier, and especially LMC, who I built an 86 K20 years ago, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, and I bought almost everything from LMC, and 95% of their stuff was great. This go around, there was only like 1 or 2 items that were actually good. So the seat cover went back, the seat cushions went back. I bought a set of seat belts from them. I was going to, brand new belts. The receivers for the driver and passenger, too short. And actually, knowing what I know now about these seats, the 40-20-40s have shorter buckles than the bench seats do. And I think the seatbelt set that they were selling, which didn't specify what type of seat they're for, I think they were for the 40-20-40 bullnose or arrow nose trucks. And they were LMC was just selling them for 80 through 96, 97 trucks, which is ridiculous. So seat belts went back, seat cover and seat cushion went back. The carpet is the only thing that I will say is good from them. The color is a little off. The material is very thin. Not sure how long it's going to last, but it looks presentable, and it actually went in without having to be trimmed, which I have installed a few aftermarket carpets in A-body muscle cars and F-body cars, and you have to trim those carpet sets a lot. So having a no trim carpet installation was very nice. So the carpet's in. These floor mats are overpriced for what they are. They're like $125. They're like the retro 90s Walmart style floor mats, and you're just paying a bunch of money for the look. As far as floor mats go, these are thin. They're, you know, kind of dense, but again, it's just thin aftermarket rubber, and it gets dirty very quickly. So not a huge fan there. So we have the 40/20/40s in here. The driver's seat, you know, could use a rehash, but it'll be fine for now. The center console, I don't think I'm going to run. I think I'm going to look at getting a newer actual center console instead of a middle jump seat, because no one's really going to ride in the middle anyway. So I can adapt, make a, you know, a newer like F250 or Super Duty center console with better cup holders work. Also, speaking of crap from LMC, these door seals, absolute junk. I don't know how long they're gonna last, but when they inevitably go bad, I will get something better from Rock Auto. First of all, there's like hardly any tension. They went on to the seam like no problem at all, and then all the bends, the rubber is just bunching up, and it is just not good. They weren't expensive, but for the work that you would have to do to put these in, to have such crappy parts, there's no excuse for that. So the steering column, this is actually a tilt steering column that I have in here, and I have it all torn apart because, just like my non-tilt column, someone lost the cotter pin for the shift arm and just threw a nut and a bolt in here loosely, and that eggs out the hole, and this is like cast pot metal. So I want to have, you know, a nice solid shifter. So the options would be to try and make this work, which would be a pain in the butt, or to get a replacement. So I at first found one on eBay that said it was for this truck. It's not. It does not have this little flat boss to put the little pin for the shift indicator loop, as well as this part is much thinner. But there are videos on YouTube of getting pretty much all the way down to where this piece is all that's left on the column. I figured I would throw this in here. Once you have that guy taken out, which is held on by those 3 Allen heads, you'll have this. Here, I'll show you. It slides over. It's keyed into this tube. So it'll be sitting there like that. And what you have to do, you can see that hole in there. Come underneath. See this right here. there will be a rivet there. You'll have to drill the rivet out, and then this will slide out. Honestly, I don't really know. When you put the new one in, I don't know that you really have to worry about putting a new rivet on there. I'm sure it's to keep that piece from moving around, but with everything else that'll be on, I don't really think that it'll be a problem. So yeah, I ordered a brand new one. There is a parts company that I forget the name of it, Column Source or something like that. Actually, here, Pro Steering Columns. I got my turn signal switch from them. They have a bunch of parts for these, so I ordered the new collar from them. And I also went on eBay and ordered this housing here, which the key sits in, because I noticed that mine is flat, like the column got dropped or something. And looking at other pictures, you know, they are not flat like this. So ordered another one of those. That was also a little bit of money, but so have to wait for those parts to come in the mail, and then I can get the steering column put back together. And then as far as the dashboard goes, all I have to do is take out the headlight wiper switch, the radio, the stock controls, and the glove box, and disconnect some of the stuff that's underneath, and then a couple bolts, and I'll be able to pull the dashboard out, and then you get to putting that vintage air kit in. So it's coming along. It's definitely not fast progress, but it is some progress. So when we get farther along, I'll catch you guys back up, but until then, I will catch you next time.